What's going on, my soul family? Welcome back to another episode of the Awake with Jake show. On today's episode, I'm going to be dropping in and sharing with you how to create motivation that lasts. Now, I want to start out with a question. How many times in your life have you said that you're going to do something and then you said to yourself, I'll wait till tomorrow to do it? But tomorrow never came and you just kept pushing it off, pushing it off, pushing it off. I'll go to the gym tomorrow. I'll start eating healthy tomorrow. I'll have that uncomfortable conversation with my partner tomorrow. Maybe one day I'll leave this job that I hate. But the thing is, our mind, if left unchecked and unaware, will always find ways to distract us and pull us back into patterns of being comfortable, of being comfortable. And when we are comfortable and complacent in our lives, and what I mean by that too is we do things that just really take the easy path in life and we don't really challenge ourselves to grow, because I do also find value in learning to be content. And that's a whole nother conversation. But in this moment, what I'm talking with you about is learning to embrace your discomfort to find lasting motivation. So if you said yes to any one of those questions, then this episode is for you. Now, for most of my life, I struggled with having self discipline. I struggled with finding the motivation to change. I wanted to change, but I didn't. I really desired to be healthier physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, but I wasn't willing at the time to put in the work and take the action to actually change my life. Now, many years ago, as some of you may know, I was a lot heavier than I am now physically. I was about 70 to 80 pounds heavier than I currently weigh. And I was disgusted in life. I was unhappy. I had gotten bullied, picked on my entire life for being fat and overweight. And that really hurt me. It hurt me inside. And all the other stuff I was dealing with at home, from the abuse from my father, from my sister's heroin addiction, to my own stuff, from alcoholism and food addiction and porn addiction, all other kinds of crazy addictions. I have learned a lot about addiction. And what I have found, that our mind becomes addicted to things that make us feel good. But what I've really found is what feels the best is when we feel an alignment with ourselves, when we feel an alignment with the universe, with source energy working through us. That's flow. That is flow. But most of our lives, we spend fighting against the universal current. We spend our lives rowing upstream, and we start to neglect our lives. We start to neglect the things that matter to us, our intimate relationships, our friendships, our physical health, our emotional health. We get caught up in chasing money, chasing the next high, chasing romantic partners, chasing the next big opportunity. And we're always chasing the next best thing. So our mind is always pulling us out of the moment, and we're never really present here and now in this moment, because we're either thinking about the future. Oh, I'm going to be so happy when I hit this dollar amount. I'm going to be so happy when I find the love of my life. I'm going to be so happy when I lose this weight. Or we focus on the past, and we never really grieve the pain that we experienced. We never grieve the abandonment that we experienced, the neglect. Maybe our father was abusive, or maybe we experienced some type of sexual abuse. Pain that gets locked inside of our bodies that we never deal with. So our mind lives on this unconscious autopilot, churning on the past, eating away at us, never really in the present moment. So what I have found is that in order to build lasting discipline, create new habits in your life that actually help you and serve you, you have to be willing to apply the things that you learn in your life. Not just let them float around your mind and eventually leave, but actually bring them down into your body. The embodiment is the work. The embodiment is the work. And the reason why I say this is because once your body holds on to that memory, it starts to develop the new habit. Now, it's very difficult. It is very difficult to change your life. And that's why most people don't change their lives. That's why I still meet people to this day. They're like, I can't believe how much you've transformed your life. I used to know the old you, Jake. I knew what you were like. Getting blackout drunk in bar rooms, getting carried out by bouncers, getting arrested for fighting, all kinds of crazy stuff. I knew what you were like, and I knew what I was like. But one day I woke up and I said to myself, I'm disgusted with the way my life is going, and I'm happy. My relationships are not where I want them to be. My health is not where I want it to be. My financial situation is not where I want it to be. I was living in my mother's basement at the time, and I was miserable. I was unhappy. And everyone around me my entire life had always doubted me. And I always doubted myself because I didn't believe in myself. But eventually, I started to believe in myself. I started to believe in myself. I started finding hope that I could change my life, that I could make a better life for myself, that I could live a life that actually mattered. So many of us visualize this dream life, this dream partner, this dream location, whatever. We visualize all this stuff outside of us, and we're never really happy with ourselves. So we keep trying to put our happiness in other people's hands. And that's why we keep getting let down in life. Because if you continue to try to give your happiness to other people and hope that they hold on to it and take care of it, you will never be happy. But it takes breaking free of your mind's distractions. Now, I know it's very difficult because being in this matrix-like world, being plugged into this giant machine, which really is just our cell phone, right? It's like the matrix. What if the matrix is our cell phone? What if the matrix is being plugged into something that keeps our mind distracted 24/7? Our central nervous systems are overloaded with stress and overwhelm because we're disconnected from our bodies. We're disconnected from our sacred selves. And we've lost that connection because we've given up our power to something outside of ourselves. So in order to find lasting motivation, we normally hit a place of pain. We normally hit a place of disgust. So in this moment, I want to hold you accountable. What are you going to do right now? What's one promise that you are going to make to yourself to create lasting change? Just one thing in this moment, whether it's starting small, working out a little bit, eating healthier, taking care of your romantic relationship with your partner if you have one, making small little promises to yourself, maybe sitting down and learning how to meditate, quieting down your mind, maybe breathing more intentionally. What's something that you're going to do for yourself in this moment and actually start practicing that? It's not the big thing that changes your entire life. It's not like a big stork comes flying over your head one day and drops this golden egg of opportunity and you go, oh my God, I'm awake now. I'm fully enlightened. I'm so happy. No, it's the little changes that you make every single day that compound over time that lead to lasting results in your life. And then one day you wake up and most of the areas of your life are pretty well rounded and you feel good. Now, sure, you're going to have your struggles. You're going to have your challenges. No matter how much work you do on yourself, there will always be things presented to you in life because we're here in Earth School awakening. We are here in Earth School awakening. Walking this path of this human experience is sometimes very challenging. But a lot of times we create our own shitstorm. We create our own suffering because we often give our power away to external things. We allow our mind to distract us. I recently had a conversation with a friend of mine who's really struggling in his life. He told me, he said, I'm feeling really distracted lately. I feel like everything I'm doing is just to distract myself. And as he went on to say, I'm just focusing so much on my business and that's all I'm focusing on. And I said, well, what's your relationship with your wife like right now? He said, well, it could be better. And what's your physical health right now? Well, it could be better. And I shared with him that we have gardens in our life, multiple gardens. We have a financial garden. We have our relationship garden. We have our physical health garden. We have an emotional health garden. We have multiple gardens in our life. And we have a relationship with our self garden. How are you taking care of the gardens in your life? Are you pouring all of your energy into one garden? Because I can tell you right now, from having a small experience in gardening, I have learned that if you don't take care of a garden, it will start to die. Weeds grow inside of it, the flowers, the plants, the vegetables, they start to die, they start to wilt because they're not being taken care of. And the weeds overgrow in your garden and they overtake your garden. And next thing you know, your garden is dying. Now, a lot of people do this. They get stuck in this pattern, this rat race of life, and they're chasing this amount in their mind, this dollar amount, most likely, or whatever they're chasing, this thing in their mind that they think is going to get them happiness when they reach this goal. But really, that's the trap. That's the illusion. You think you'll be happy when you hit this landmark in your life, this milestone, and then you get there and you're like, shit, I feel the exact same. I might even feel worse because the last 5 years, the last 10 years, I neglected myself. I neglected myself because I didn't have enough self-love to commit to myself. And that's really where people are struggling, is they don't have the self-love to wake up in the morning, to do things in the morning that make them feel good, to start their day strong, to continue to do things throughout the day that feel good. They wake up, they drink a pot of coffee, they check their social media, they compare themselves to other people's lives and think to them, I wish I was living their life. Their life looks great. And that's what a lot of people do. And I've experienced that within my own life. And I can tell you right now, that in itself is what is creating suffering for you. So you have to be willing to make a commitment to yourself, to have the self-love, to really start to commit to yourself, to your own healing, to your own awakening, and set aside all the bullshit for a while. It can wait, and go to work on yourself. And that's really what you came here to do, because maybe right now you're feeling like, I don't really have a purpose in life. I don't really know why I'm here. I don't really know who I am. And that's okay. But the first thing is to start working on yourself, because the only thing that you can offer to other people in this life is the work that you have done within yourself. How free are you? Because you can't help others get free if you're not free yourself. You cannot help others get free if you're still chained to the wall. You may deeply want to help people. You may want to be of service to this world, but you can't help others get free. And I believe that is why we stay stuck in life. That is why we stay stuck in life, because we don't have the discipline to free ourselves, to put aside our addictions, to be honest with ourselves, to be accountable with ourselves and say, you know what? I could do better in this area. Because we so often don't focus on our weaknesses. And there's a story of Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was an amazing bodybuilder, how he would go into the gym when he really was trying to win Mr. Olympia, how he would go into the gym with nothing but sweatpants all over his entire body except for his calves. He wouldn't wear sweatpants on his calves so he could see his calves, because he knew that his calves needed to be better in order to win Mr. Olympia. So he would go to the gym and focus on his calves and focus on growing his calves, because he knew that his calves were his weakness. And he was willing to look at his weaknesses. And just like myself, I have been willing and still am willing to look at my weaknesses. How can I show up better? How can I show up better in my romantic relationship? How can I cultivate deeper, richer relationships with my friends? How can I have better physical health? How can I have more stillness within my mind and my body? And just asking myself powerful questions, learning how I can show up better, learning who I really am at a soul level beyond just my ego identity, beyond what I think I need to be to impress other people, to be validated by the world, which really doesn't do shit for you. If anything, it'll make you more miserable trying to be validated by other people. And that's another reason why people don't have discipline, is because they're waiting for someone else to come along and say, here's your permission slip, Johnny. Here you go, bud. There you go. You can have your right to be free now. Well, if that's what you're waiting for, you're going to be waiting a long damn time, because people are too wrapped up in their own selves. Most of the people in the world right now don't give a shit about other people because they're too focused on their own suffering. But that's why there are the people who are sovereign beings, who are free, who are really trying to help others get free. And I know that if you are listening to this show right now, there's a reason for it. Because you were brought here. You were brought here to be free. You were brought here to be free. You weren't born to suffer. That is not what this human experience is about. That's why we're able to feel love. That's why we're able to feel joy. And when you anchor that into your heart, into your body, and you remember the feeling of love, of compassion, of joy, of happiness, because it's been buried below your trauma, below your pain. But I'm here to remind you that it lives within you. Joy lives within you. That inner child within you that's waiting to be freed, to feel the love moving through your body. Feel that energy flow through you in this moment right now. Even if it makes you emotional, even if it makes you feel a little bit of sadness. Dig through those layers of pain and get back to that love that is within you and has always been within you, because you are worth it. You are worth every bit of love that you desire. I love you and you are worthy. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode. Please, if it brought you value, take a moment of your time right now so you don't forget. Share it to your Instagram story and tag me @_Jake Woodard. Once again, I freaking love you. I am proud of you. If you made it to this point listening to my fat yap on this episode, I appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you. And as always, stay open, stay loving, and stay connected to that beautiful source within you.